train has left the station. If you're there or not, I may not even know. Have yourself another toke from my basket full of smoke. Let the train blow the whistle when I go. On my old guitar, sell tickets so someone can finally pick it. Tell the girls down at the Ritz I said hello. Have a round and remember things we did that weren't so tender. Let the train blow the whistle when I go. Let her blow, let her blow. Long and loud and hard and happy, let her blow.
Well, greetings guys, Utah Steve here, back for another overnighter. Flying solo this time at the Spiral Jetty. That little design you see down there, that swirl, that Spiral Jetty, was built by Robert Smithson in 1970, April. And so either 3 or 4 years later, he was scouting out a place for his next art project in Texas, and his plane went down and he was killed. He was like 32 years old or something. Down in the parking lot there are several cars, including mine. It's 35 degrees. It's December 9th, and I was hoping that I would be the only one who wanted to be out here in 35 degree weather on September 9th or December 9th. So, not true. So I'm at the top of the mountain looking down on creation. I just hiked up here to get away from those people. They're the ruins of 2 cabins, stone cabins down there, and I was hoping to camp in one of them. Just the foundation is all there is, but there's a good fire pit in one of them. And I've camped here before years ago with my son Murphy, but all those people down there, I don't know. I'm gonna sleep in the SUV this time, just because it's gonna be in the teens tonight. It's gonna be really cold, and I'm by myself, and I doubt anyone's gonna camp here but me. These people are leisurely day hikers and players and stuff like that, so it's just gonna be me. And I have an inflatable mattress, a down blanket, a 5-degree sleeping bag, a couple of movies downloaded onto my phone. I just came up here to relax and get away from it all. So that's what I'm hoping to do. Things have been kind of crazy at home with the holiday season upon us, and I just needed to get away for an overnighter. So hopefully these people clear out soon. This volcanic rock you see behind me is everywhere through this area, and that is the material used to build the Spiral Jetty. Sometimes it's under the Great Salt Lake, sometimes it's exposed. Right now the Great Salt Lake's waters are way out there. They've receded quite a bit, and so we can walk on the jetty. And we'll do that at some point. I'm not overly anxious to get down there amongst the crowd. I think for now I'm gonna just explore, walk around, just kind of take my time and take it in. Not really hungry or anything. It's about 2 p.m. So hopefully, with the sun going down around 5, we'll have this whole place to ourselves. You might be wondering about wildlife here. Maybe you're not. Typical desert wildlife: jackrabbits, coyotes, rattlesnakes, pronghorn deer / antelope. They're not really antelope, but that's what people call them. And over this mountain here is a ranch with a lot of cattle. So that's what we're looking at. Hopefully, maybe we can hear some coyotes tonight. I don't know. You can't even see the lake out there. It's so hazy. It's just crazy how hazy the lake is to Daisy. You might notice these lines running through the fields, and these are rabbit trails. They like to use, like deer, the same trails over and over amongst themselves. Makes traveling faster and more efficient, You don't have to guess about where they're headed. Especially when it comes to seeking refuge from a guy like me. Well, I've been sitting on top of this mountain for some time and my ears are getting cold. The rest of me is pretty comfortable, but my ears aren't too happy, and I do have a warm beanie in the car. So, I'm gonna hike back down, and I can hear the dune buggies revving up. I hope they freeze their butts off. It's 35 degrees out here. I hope they get so cold they only ride for a little while and go home. I really just need to be by myself. I don't understand people who come out and get away from the city and make noise and tear it up and don't even sit still and appreciate what's around them. Sorry, I'll get off my little soapbox, stop ranting. Let's hike back down to the car and see what I can figure out what to do next. There are a lot of these little cubbies that rabbits and whatnot use to hide in. I don't know what it is about the desert, but it fascinates me. I love a forest, don't get me wrong. There's something about the desert too. Interesting what these little critters that live here do with the materials at their disposal to build shelters. This is pretty cool. This is something people do. I've seen them do it down there. If you walk down into the jetty, there are miniature ones that people have made, but someone made one right here. Look at this little guy. This is Spiral Jetty. That's a pretty good likeness. I'm impressed. You probably can't hear that, but I'm hearing coyotes. It's daytime. They usually do this at night. Obviously it's daytime, but they're just hollering over here. Now those dune buggies traveled down here and up into there, so they're far away. They're not noisy at all, which is a relief. That might be why coyotes are going off. I have no idea. Now, coyotes and jackrabbits in Utah are non-game animals, which means anyone can hunt them. In fact, the state of Utah offers a reward for coyote pelts. And the reason why is because they kill cows. They've been known to attack small children. They attack sheep. They destroy. They keep the rabbit population down, don't get me wrong. And I've never shot one because it's too much like shooting a dog for me. I just can't do it. I've shot jackrabbits, but not coyotes. And it is legal, believe it or not. You don't need a license. You can also get a few bucks for a pelt.
Just like back in the Old West.
We have one truck leaving down there. Very slowly making my way down. I'm not in a huge hurry. I think I'm finally, it takes me a little while of being in the wilderness to shake off the city and work and all that drudgery and stress with the divorce, all that. It takes me some time to sort of get reacquainted with nature and forget about all that stuff. And I'm just now, I've been here a couple hours, and and I've been hiking around. I'm just now really starting to feel it. I'm starting to feel more alive, more relaxed, more happy and comfortable here. And eventually, as I've said, we will have this place to ourselves. And another of our friends leaves. Yay. And there was much rejoicing. Well, 2 more cars left, and another one's pulling up. We have 2 vehicles to my left, or to my right, that are the motorcycle gang, so to speak. The 4-wheelers and dune buggies, and like a teenage couple, maybe a college couple, in the car next to me, and another car just pulled up. And what's happening is people are just showing up and then driving away after a while. They look at the Jetty, they say, oh, that's neat, and then they leave. So I'm just getting a little bit warm in my car, and that's stating the obvious, I know, but that's what I'm doing in my car. I'm not leaving. And judging by everybody's gear, I would say nobody's here to camp. So I'm just going to hang out in here for a while. Eventually I'll give you a tour. We have about 2 hours left of daylight. It's 2:30 right now. Well, guys, our dune buggy buddies just left. The sun is getting low in the sky. I took a nap for about an hour. I did work last night and haven't slept today. So it's cooled off considerably. It's time to put on the fleece-lined winter coat. And what we're going to do is, there's only a couple of more cars left. A lot of people like to come out here and photograph the sunsets. They're spectacular. So we'll give you a little tour, and then kind of show you the back of the SUV, show you around the place a little bit now that there are fewer people and it's not as noisy. And we'll watch the sunset. I haven't been able to film because it's been so noisy, and just constant people talking, constant cars coming and going. And the biggest problem, drones. A lot of people flying their drones over the Jetty, and they're so loud, it's like swarming bees everywhere. And I can't film when there's that much noise, so I'm kind of disappointed so far. Was really looking forward to some solitude out here. Did not expect December to be popular out at the Spiral Jetty, and what really baffles me is that people will drive for, it's literally 2 hours from Interstate 15 down isolated roads and dirt roads to get out here. 2 hours. They'll pull in, they'll get out of their car, look at the Jetty, take a couple of pictures.
Ooh, it's cold. Let's go.
Get back in their car, drive off. 2 hour drive, not even stay long enough to appreciate it. So a lot of coming and going. Like as soon as one car leaves, another one shows up. Anyway, that's where it is. I feel a lot more rejuvenated, that's for sure. So here's what I've got, and yes, this is just for one night, but I am pretty far out in the desert. Don't want to take chances. This little cooler just has my refrigerated type food in it. This is my dry food. This entire bin is full of any gear that I might need while I'm here. I've got my little blue guitar back here. Firewood, which somebody's left firewood back here. It's pretty cool. A journal. A little Edgar Allan Poe action. And Here's my stove, butane, got some water, a little table I bought that I haven't used obviously. And all of this is just occupying my sleep space. The chairs will go down and the inflatable mattress here will fold out and we'll sleep in this entire area back here. So right now it's kind of crowded. That's because I haven't set it up yet. We'll get to that. This is one of the cabins, one of the ruins. Looks like the door would have been about right there. And another door over here, right there. So you can see where the timbers used to lay right here on top of the foundation. And I've camped here before. I actually had a tent set up there with my son Murphy. And we've used this fire pit. Someone was kind enough to leave a little bit of firewood, so hopefully we can get a fire going later. I think that part over there where the big hole is was maybe a cellar at one time. I don't know why else there would be a huge hole dug out. You can see it's pretty deep. I don't think anybody dug that unless it was the person who built this little cabin. I'm not sure what happened there. It's kind of strange. It's pretty deep. And the other ruins are over here. There's a neat little pathway here connecting the two cabins. And I don't know if this was actually a cabin or some kind of barn or stable. And the reason I say that is because the design is quite different. And there is no visible entrance like a doorway. So maybe there were large wooden doors here and here, and they kept animals in here. That's my guess. Because it doesn't have the living room type situation that that other foundation has. So you can still see where the timbers were. And I haven't camped in this foundation. It's not real camper friendly because of all the dry grass. Pretty much turned this whole mountainside into a huge fireball if you weren't careful. Anyway, so here's a long view of it. You can kind of see why I think it's a barn or a stable of some kind. And then the sun is low in the sky. The mist has largely cleared out. The lake and the jetty, we will check those out tomorrow. They're likely, because of how much traffic there's been here today, which really surprised me. I did not expect it. We'll probably get hit with a lot of cars tomorrow too. But we'll get out there and film it probably early before the crowds start showing up. As you can see, there's still a few cars over here. Now the temperature is dropping significantly. I'm not sure what it is right now. My thermometer's in the car, but it's uncomfortable enough that I think people aren't going to stick around much longer, except to photograph the sunset. So I'm going to find a place to go sit, and we will watch the amazing Great Salt Lake sunset. Some just astounding pictures you can get out here, especially when there are clouds in the sky, and there aren't too many, but it should be a good experience. We're gonna have fun with this. People are not. This is pretty cool. This is a little monument. It was some kids' Eagle Scout project for Boy Scouts, explaining what the spiral jetty is, some of the history of it. So it looks like Robert Smithson was 35 when he was killed. The spiral jetty has been here since April 1970. That's when the Beatles split up. So it's been there a long time. Beautiful. And it's even more beautiful because people are leaving. This is pretty amazing. I can't quite tell on the camera because I'm staring at the sun, but with my naked eye there are two suns. One right above the other. And that's because The bottom one is actually a reflection in the Great Salt Lake. Very cool effect. Hopefully you can see that. All I can see are spots in my eyes now from staring at the sun. That was one of the coolest sunsets I've ever seen in my life, if not the coolest. I've never witnessed anything like that, and you could hear the people down below getting pretty excited about it too. Seeing those two suns come together and then disappear. That was amazing. That was magic. And now, those people are probably going to leave, so I'm going to start setting up camp. Okay guys, as you can see, there's one truck left, and I think they're about to bail. And no one else, just like I hoped. So here's a tour of camp. Got my firewood. I have some lighter fluid in there just in case things were damp and cold. That would help boost getting the fire going, but things are pretty dry, so I don't know if I'll need that. I might use it just to make it easier on myself. I got to keep warm. This isn't a survival show, it's car camping, and I just want to be warm. It's probably in the 20s right now. I got a little dining table and chair to eat at. That's garbage someone else left from a cook pot they bought. It was nice of them to leave their trash behind. I'm going to be cooking here. I've got some olive oil there, some seasoning, some baked beans, the cook pot for hot chocolate. These are 2 red potatoes I'm going to cut up and fry. And oh, come on. The eggs are for breakfast. But here is the wonderful, wonderful thing I brought. Oops. Ribeye steak, my friends. That's going on very shortly. Now, I don't drink, but I do like O'Doul's, which is non-alcoholic, so I usually bring that with me. And, down in the bottom, just have some fruit, something nice to top it off with. Let's put those eggs back in, and let's get going on the fire. And dinner. The GoPro will not last much longer. As far as lighting goes, it does not do well in the dark. So some of this may be filmed on my cell phone, which does not have great sound, but does better in the dark. We shall see. I don't know. Maybe not. So far, not too bad. I want to get the fire going first.
Let her blow, let her blow, long and loud and hard and happy, let her blow. No regrets, all my debts will be paid when I get laid. Let the train blow the whistle when I go. You'll be left without excuses for the evils and abuses down to the day from years and years ago. Tell the gossipers and liars I will see them in the fire. Let the train blow the whistle when I go. Let her blow, let her blow, long and loud and hard and happy, let her blow. No regrets, all my debts will be paid when I get laid. Let the train blow the whistle when I go. Let the train blow